Hi, my name is Michelle Watson, and I'm glad you stopped by to take a minute to listen to what I have been up to the last couple of years, which is that I wrote a book, go figure. And it's simply called, just happen to have it here, Dad, Here's What I Really Need From You, a guide for connecting with your daughter's heart. And my goal in writing this book was to take the information that I've been teaching dads now for 5 years, I can't believe it's been that long, in the ABBA project, here in my counseling office in Portland, Oregon, and I've wanted to put these tools into practical, down-to-earth, scripted, clear objectives so that you as dads could take this across the country wherever you live and put it into practice with your daughters. We daughters want you to be the hero that we need you to be, and I know that every dad wants to be that hero that his daughter is needing and calling out for. And the way that you do that is that you have to take action. So I have found, maybe you've heard me say this, that dads would rather do nothing than do it wrong. And I've come to find out now in 5 years of working with so many men that they're saying, I want to do something, but it's got to connect with my heart. Like it's got to be a passionate thing. And I need to know what exactly is required or expected. And so that's what I've sought to do, is just to take topics that I believe your daughters need you to talk about with them, which is everything from dating to you listening to words that are spoken and making amends and guys and sex and God the Father, earthly father relationships and all those kinds of things that we care about as girls. And then what I've sought to do is put this in chapters that are very short. I've had men say, get to the point already. So look there's one whole chapter. This is my long one. Wouldn't you know that was the one I showed you? But really they're all about 3 pages, 4 pages each. I want to read you one little chapter that I wrote called Thinking Backward. If you've ever played sports, which I assume includes all of you in one way or another, you know that every single time you step onto the field or the court, you always know where the goal is, right? Always. The goal has everything to do with the direction you run in, the points you make or miss, and whether you win or lose. The energy you expend is always oriented toward the goal because that's where the points are and that's what counts. Without a clear goal, you can't play the game, and without a clear goal, you can't win the game. With your daughter, it's the same way. So think about it this way. Whether you're a businessman or a sports enthusiast, you understand this concept of having to have a goal. And whether you do that financially or relationally, it's the same principle. I would encourage you dads who maybe have a goal to launch your daughter at 18 to say, where do I want to be with her at age 9? So that you have a halfway mark, a half-court objective to measure yourself by. What do you want to teach her in terms of finances, in terms of experiences around the world to open up her awareness of what's out there, volunteer opportunities, and that you begin to align with her. That's the heart stuff. You're putting that into action and you're opening up conversations about what she's thinking and needing and feeling. Let me give you an example that kind of drives this point home. This past summer, I started ignoring things that were happening in my right eye. I started seeing lines and floaters and all these crazy things. And I was busy, I had a book coming out. I was ignoring what signals my eye was giving me. And then wouldn't you know it, one night, half of it went dark and I ended up in emergency surgery for a detached retina. Go figure, right? And it ended up being pretty extensive surgery and I could have lost my sight. And I think, why is it always that we, myself included, ignore some of the signals that our body or life is giving us, and we get caught up in what's most urgent? And in that chapter that I just read you called Thinking Backwards, I want you dads to think about the end of your life. What do you want your daughter to say about you then? And think backwards and say, those are the things that I've got to start investing in now if I really want to win over her heart. So in the back of the book, I've got questionnaires that open up deeper dialogue with your daughters. Questionnaires that allow her to tell you what she's thinking, and you get to write down the answers. So your daughter didn't come with a playbook, but you're going to write one as you get your pen out and script things that you hear her saying. And what I have found is story after story is about daughters and dads saying it's made such a difference to just have intentional time, just the two of them, to talk. And I found that a lot of times dads don't know what to talk about. And that's why I wanted to give you a roadmap, a toolbox that has all the tools in it has the path ahead so that you can follow it. And if it bombs, blame me and I'm your fall guy. Hey, how's that for win-win? So anyway, I'd love to hear stories of impact. I already am starting to hear them, and at times I could just weep when I hear the stories that are making a difference in the dad-daughter relationship. So hit it out of the ballpark, Dad. Give me feedback. I'd love to hear. I know you can do it with just a little bit of help. So that's the heart behind the book, and I hope that it helps you reach your goals as a father to a daughter. Blessings.